I know like the cliched answer is that like, regular season games don't matter anymore than anything else. But like, do you feel like there's a little bit more juice in these games against the Sixers?
I told you that regular season games don't matter.
That's always like the
I haven't
response.
been
And
on a good team like I guess of this caliber. So uh, every game is a learning experience. No matter you down 20 or the Memphis game we learned something and we didn't play too well that game. Last time we played Philly, we were locking up, but we weren't scoring. So I feel like every game is something that you can learn from. And even though these two are back to back, I feel like it's even more because this is a team that we'll probably end up seeing later on in the playoffs. So yeah, man, I feel like we all got to lock in and take this seriously.
do you feel like when you are playing a team like Philly, you guys lock in even more? I know I've mentioned that to Chris, and he's like, that might be the case. Like, you see a team that's as good as Philly is at the top of the standings, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, like this is a night where we really got to be locked in from the get go.
I think that as unconscious as it might be, everybody kind of plays to the level of the competition, and we know what's at stake. We know their record and everything, just like they know ours. And again, potentially what the future might look like for both of us. So yeah, I do think that you do lock in maybe a little bit more.
With the way Joel's shooting the ball this year, just how different is the cover? I mean, like I think for a while he was shooting like 60% from the mid range. Like it just feels like at 7-3
How
that
different is the cover?
was that.
Just how different is it?
Yeah, well, because in the past it used to be like, well, if you bait him into shooting, he might not be as effective. But now when he is shooting at that level,
Uh, Brooke did a hell of a job. Keep on telling you that Brooke is my sleeper. Brooke did a hell of a job, but that man over there is nice. Joe's good. Um, Brooke did a good job of pretty much just making it tough on him. Nothing was easy at the basket. Even his jumpers, I feel like his jumpers, the ones that he usually might make, were tough, but Brooke made him tougher. Uh, but yeah, I feel like we'll throw a lot of stuff at him and try to make it super difficult and hard, and not just give him one consistent look at what we have defensively, and just kind of go from there.
Zora?
What's one thing, whether it was in film or at practice today, that Coach Bud felt like you executed well when it came to the game plan yesterday?
Offensively, the way we played with the pass, I think we had a lot of assists, and it's always fun to play with the pass. I mean, just as a basketball player, you want to everybody just touch the ball and get a feel. The ball has energy and movement. That's a great way to play. And then defensively, we did pretty well on Embiid. We made it tough for him. We know that they don't have Ben. Tobias I feel like he's always going to get to what he gets to, but that, and then they have 3-point shooters and Danny Green and Seth Curry. So we did a pretty good job managing that too.
Kind of a random one here. The Raptors today released this video of their rookies singing "Party in the USA." Miley Cyrus. Did you see that?
That was lit.
So what's the funniest, most interesting thing that you all have made Jordan, Mamadi, and Sam do that you can share?
Nothing. We're lame. I guess just saying happy birthday whenever somebody's birthday. Yeah, that's about it. Wow. Yeah, we suck.
Got it. Okay. That's what I had for you. If you guys come up with anything, it's not my fault that I started this.
Darius Joshua.
Hey, Jrue, kind of speaking of how good Joel is, I was watching the TNT broadcast, and they kind of had some fun with that moment where you were trying to dribble past him, and then you end up going behind him for the layup. I guess just what is it like when a big guy like him can sort of stay with you and make it tough for you in that scenario?
No, he can't stay with me, but it was fun to do. You hear the oohs and the ahs of the crowd. I definitely should have made the shot because it would have completed the whole thing. But I feel like that's what people want to see when it comes down to it. If you have a big man that can slide his feet and stay in front of guards like that, and vice versa, a guard that can guard a big is I don't know, it's just kind of out of the ordinary. So it was fun. I just wish I would have finished the layup.
Speaking of defenders, not sure if Ben Simmons will play tomorrow. You guys haven't seen this Sixers team kind of at their full strength. What does he add to this team if he's able to play tomorrow, or just obviously down the stretch if you guys see them later on when he's out there with Joel and Tobias too?
Yeah, pressure on the rim, pressure at all times. He's just that guy that pushes the pace, attacks the basket, and really gets guys involved the way he passes and play makes. Excuse me. And then defensively, he's a good defender. He can guard 1 through 5, and they're a lot better defensively with him.
Steve McGargy.
Just wondering, you have these 2 games with Philly this week. You have a couple games with Brooklyn coming up as well. You're in that 3 spot right now. How critical is it, or how much of a concern is it to try to improve that seeding heading into the playoffs, or is it something y'all think much about at all?
We as a team haven't really talked about getting to that number 2 or number 3 or number 1 spot. It's really about winning games and preparing for the playoffs. At some point, we're gonna have to match up with one of them. But right now, I think we're just taking it game to game, and because there's a series right now, and this will be kind of like a playoff series. This is kind of what we're trying to lock down on and really be really concise and pay attention to detail.
Great. Thanks, Jrue.
All right, guys.